Okay, so let's pull this out. We're going to do this one last exercise before we break for lunch. Now, this is one of the most powerful, impactful ones. It's also one of the most difficult exercises to do. So, abstract ideas versus tangible benefits and results. All right, so as humans, we live in two worlds. And the first is the world of concrete experiences in reality. I put those in quotations here. And the other world is the world of interpretations, feelings, and abstractions. When creating marketing, it's critical that you meet people in the common space of the concrete, the measurable, tangible, and experiential. To do this, we have to turn off our abstract mechanisms and switch on our concrete experience mechanisms. So in our marketing, we don't talk about conceptual abstract ideas like weight or currency or freedom. Do talk about tangible things like 1 pound of fat, $5,000 of cash, or can live and work from anywhere in the world. All right, so it is when we did these exercises, the fears and frustrations, wants and aspirations, we came up with a lot of abstractions. There was only a couple of tangibles in there. Almost all of them were abstractions. We're now going to move from abstract to tangible. And again, this is one of the hardest things for a lot of us to do, especially if we're in the spiritual kind of intangible realm. But it is critical, and this will make all the difference in your marketing. Okay, so let's do a couple together, and then we're going to pair up. So abstract and tangible. So let's go. Give us, and it does, and so don't worry. It can be either positive or negative. Okay, it could be either positive or negative. Yeah, Sarah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. This is a really big deal for me because people come to therapy for the abstracts. They don't come for the tangibles.
Yep.
And so switching it to the tangibles is really hard because...
I understand. That's why we're doing this exercise. Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I lack.
You lack what?
Lack would be the abstract.
Okay, so lack, but give me more context with that. What are you lacking?
Money.
Okay, lacking. Well, yeah. This is no. This is a great one. Lack money. Okay. What is tangible? Lack money. What's tangible?
Not being able to pay the rent.
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay.
Can't pay the rent.
That's a result, though, right?
This is you nailed the exercise. You just did it right. Okay, so give me one of your ones. Give me.
It's the lack of money. You're looking to say it in a way that's...
Exactly, correct. So we're just going from abstract to tangible. I have a lack of money. I can't pay my rent. Everybody knows what that means. I can't pay my rent. Lack of money. I have a lack of money to buy a corporate jet. Oh no. How bad do you feel for me right now? So, but I can't pay my rent. Oh shit. That sucks. What are you gonna,
Livelihood, it's a roof over your head.
Yeah, but it's tangible. We know what that means. So give me a hard one,
So,
Sean.
disconnection in your marriage, and I've got a client who walks in the house and felt like repulsed by her husband.
Okay, so,
That's pretty specific.
well, yeah, you just went specific right there.
Right.
Actually, that was pretty good.
So, show how that works on there.
Well,
Disconnected is the
you just did it. So disconnection, disconnection, and then, repulsed
By your partner.
by sight
Well, it might have been...
of your partner. I couldn't hear what.
Say.
But that you just went, you did it. My husband walked in and I was repulsed. So, I know I got a perfect picture in my mind of what that looks like. Who got a good picture in your mind? Okay, all right, good. So you totally did it.
Happy.
Great one, happy. I know, but give me some more context.
Has been feeling held back and miserable all their lives, and they feel stuck. And
Okay, great. So what's a tangible way to say that the client is happy, or they've gotten happy?
So, when I ask them to get more specific, they get to something like, it feels like they're living their own life.
Okay, so this is great. No, and it's okay. This is great.
I thought of get up, dance, feel, you wake up, feel like dancing in the morning.
Totally specific.
Oh, God.
You did it. You did it. Now here's a great way to bust whenever you're stuck with this. Here's a great way to bust it. Go and think about an actual story of an actual client who they had this abstract descriptor, and what did they do or described their state. And let's say it was an actual client who, I'm so happy. I woke up this morning and I turned on the tunes and I started dancing. And there you go. So that's a great way to bust when you're having a real struggle. You say, I just can't describe this. Go to an actual story of an actual client, or go to a story that you heard about a client or something like that, and then you can get to a descriptor. That's a great way to bust when you're having a really hard time figuring it out. Go ahead.
I have one. Purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. So give me some more context.
And for purpose, the tangible, and my question to you is that the tangible is kind of like work being a way of living,
Well,
not work anymore.
yeah, okay. So do you have, give me an example, and you can use an example in your own life.
Right.
Okay, or you can use an example in your customers. So feel free to choose one or the other, but pick one right now and describe going from an abstract purpose to a tangible that shows me that you got this purpose, and you're specifically saying it in my work. Okay, so tell me.
So
let's just go with Asara.
okay.
Are you living your purpose?
Yes, I am.
How are you doing that?
Work doesn't feel like work anymore. It feels like a way of living.
You just did it.
That's it. Okay.
You just did it. Work doesn't feel like work anymore. It is a way of living. That is much more tangible. It's not like a concrete, like a table, but it's much more understandable than the word purpose. Purpose is, and it's not that people don't know the definition, it's that it can mean so many different things to so many different people. Remember, we're trying to be impossible to misunderstand. And the last thing that you said was like, I got it. Did anybody not get it? I mean, it's pretty good, okay? So, Sean, you're gonna have tons of client examples that when they say, I'm distressed or I'm worried or whatever, talk about the tangible story that they went through. So this exercise, let me see what time it is. It's 11:32. So we're gonna take 15 minutes to do this exercise. We're gonna break up into groups, but we're gonna break up into different groups than you did before. I want to hear from lunch what you got from continuing the exercise over lunch. So, who wants to share? Go ahead, Asara.
Okay, putting down the head is not working. Note to self.
Putting what?
Putting my head down.
Yeah,
is
no.
Not working.
That's the same as raising your hand. Yeah. So go ahead.
That's a sign that you're avoiding getting called on.
Yeah, which means I will call on you.
Yeah. So I took the 3 words that I was using in my program name, right? Confidence, clarity, and thriving.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to become more tangible.
Great.
So
Excellent.
with the confidence, I'm referring to knowing exactly that the answers that they're getting is coming from the guides and not from their mind, not from themselves. That's the confidence.
Okay. And let me just ask you, just going off of that, because is the guide always right?
Supposed to be, yeah.
Okay, well then that's an important distinction, because it gives you confidence, but why? The reason why is because the guide is going to be right.
Yes.
Okay, so I think, and there's a way to make that even more tangible with an example, but
Is divine perfection too abstract?
very abstract.
I suggest.
It's okay to sound good. It's still just
You can take action.
Yeah, that's the difference. I sell. What did you just say? Divine what?
Divine perfection.
Yeah. So I mean, you could try and say I sell divine perfection, and you'll knock at one sale ever.
The box here.
Yeah. But if you can,
Pretty cool. I'll take some.
but if you can turn that into something much more tangible, then people can understand and they can say, "Oh, I'm willing to pay for that." The big problem with abstract is people don't know what it's worth. We as humans we're terrible at putting a dollar figure value on anything, particularly abstract things. When something's abstract, is that worth $1 or is that worth 100 million? And think about art for a moment. Okay, I saw a picture of a painting that sold for $100 million, and I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? But somebody paid $100 million for this thing, and somehow the artist was able to do the marketing, and they were able to create the value for the customer within their marketing.
So how can I make this tangible?
Tell a
the
story.
goods are-
Tell me a story, just like it could be a story of you or a story of a client.
Okay.
It's all right, you can do it.
Wow. Okay, I'm getting there. So, when I have a client in front of me, and he wants the answers to a question,
Mm-hmm.
ask him a very specific question about his job,
Mhm.
say, and what I do is I ask my team, what is the answer?
Mm-hmm.
And when my own mind and my own beliefs and everything gets steps aside, and this guidance can give you the answer.
Okay. Do the same thing and give me a specific example. Tell me, what's the first name of a client you just did this for?
My current coaching client, actually,
And that person's name is?
Bill.
Bill. Tell me how you did this for Bill.
Okay, so what we did was he was trying to figure out who he wants to work with as a therapist. He's a therapist.
Bill was trying to find out, he was trying to find his clients?
Yes.
Okay. He was trying to figure out his own niche.
Yes, correct. And all I did was I asked actually for guidance, and they said he needs to look for his own kind of therapist and help therapists actually, because this therapists want to become more spiritual therapists actually. They don't want a traditional therapy anymore. And he knows a whole bunch of people all of a sudden. It all popped open because the first avatar he described to me was your avatar, the management executive
Right.
person. I'm like,
Right.
how did you get there?
Yeah. So you just gave a very tangible example
Very tangible.
of how you channeled, your team,
Yes,
and you helped Bill
yes,
find his specific avatar.
correct.
That's valuable, and people can understand what you just said,
Yeah.
as opposed to spiritual perfection.
Divine perception. Yeah. So get specific answers to your question.
Well, the one way that is extremely effective to go from abstract to tangible is to talk about a specific story
Yeah.
where you helped somebody get that result that they were seeking. Okay? So that is one way to do it. That's extremely effective.
That was a powerful story.
Very powerful.
Made me want to sit with you and see what they would say.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but great example, like right there. Like, oh, I got it. I don't know what spiritual perfection is, and I have no idea.
Yeah.
But your story, I was like, oh, cool. I want some of that.
Right.
Okay, so all your people who read your emails and see your ads, and people that you talk to on the phone, they're going to have the same experience if you can go tangible.
You could even target, everybody wants to narrow their niche down. So, you could even target that group, fuzzy on your niche.
Oh, no question. That is part of what you're going to help your clients do.
So good.
No, there's no question. There's no question because you're going to
On your niche. The team's right waiting there.
Elected team standing by.
Standing by.
1-800-922.
That's not a bad analogy.
Once it's so
That's
bad.
not a bad analogy. Okay, so
So that was the first part of the 3 part. Is it all right if I go?
you can give another one. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So what I have with clarity is it goes into that now. It's also no more guesswork. When looking for answers, know precisely what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Find answers for your client. And the thriving part is being able to help more people and get, when you thrive, you get more clients.
Okay, so get more clients.
Get more clients.
So
Attract more clients.
yeah, attract more
Going with
clients.
your-
Okay. So how can you make that even more tangible than it already is? Let's just go right to the heart of it. How many more clients?
I want to get them also high-end clients.
Okay, high-end clients is good. So what is that worth? How many more clients and what is that worth in terms of dollars? And it's okay. You don't have, this is just an exercise. Okay, so you don't have to say, kind of like I do, make 6 figures in a year, and you're going to get there, but you don't have to start out by saying that. But the more specific you can get, the more people are going to know exactly what that's worth, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to get them to pay you. Okay, so if it can be, make your first $5,000 as a galactic healer in 90 days, as an example. Like, that's really clear. And guess what? People would pay $5,000 for that. Yeah. Hey, that scares you. Does it?
You know why? What happens is here, talking actual dollars with spiritual communities.
Yeah.
They're like,
Well,
how dare you say the dollar word?
okay. That's your perception of it. I don't have that problem. I talked, who in here is not somewhat spiritual? I don't have any problem with that.
Yes.
Okay, so,
The bridge, an energetic exchange,
Yes,
a righteous energetic exchange of energy.
that's actually how I price all my workshops. Energy exchange. But you're right. Maybe that's how I should put it in the offer.
keep that
In the, like you said,
keep
in the-
that in mind, because that's going to be another part of our exercise when we're valuing. We're going to put a dollar figure or some way to value. And if your people, if the currency that they use is energy exchange, and you can put a dollar figure on that, boom, awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to get there. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Can somebody else tell me what?
Can I jump in? Though?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Because, like, I'm like dying to say.
Go ahead.
So one
Yeah,
of my clients is a channeler, and just after her session this past week, she decided, in our conversation, she's like, I feel like my guides want to give something to you, and I was like, okay, great. And she says, ask your question, and so mine was around, getting this book complete. Like, I've been very linear in like how to get it complete, and when she did her thing, it basically validated something that like I wasn't giving credit to. So what that was worth to me was I got to stop wasting time trying to guess what it was that I was supposed to do next. And so basically I was able to stop wasting time and let go of trying to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by just having that validation, I get to allow it to work. And basically the next day, I just asked for guidance. I took a nap, and I woke up and I had the answer, and it's all in motion now. So
good.
yeah.
So, good. Who else can tell me what they learned and what they got from this exercise over lunch while you were doing this?
I was, go for it, Clarence,
I was just taking a big side.
I was pausing so somebody else could speak.
Sorry.
I was
What's the pain point behind that sign?
Okay, so thank you. I will take the opportunity to learn. The abstract that I had was for the executives hitting that proverbial ceiling. So hitting the ceiling, that was like, I thought that was fairly tangible, but apparently it's not.
No, well, it's not bad. So, for example, like I have several female executives where they coach other female executives and they talk about breaking the glass ceiling. And that is it's something that a lot of other female executives, they know what that is. So it's fine because their customers already they know, oh, there's a glass ceiling, and that means, it's harder for women to get over the $150,000, $200,000 level, and it's breaking into that old boys club, for example. Certainly, guys will have the same thing who are at 150 and they want to be at 200, and there's this ceiling that they feel like they can't punch through. So you can totally use that as an analogy, but the reason why I keep saying to you 150 to 250 or 150 to 200 is because everybody knows what that is, and all your clients want it, and they will pay you for it.
Well, I did a little work on that to try and make it more tangible.
All right, let's hear
I
it.
might have gotten less tangible after hearing what you just said.
Let's hear it.
Because I went more toward the promotion. I said being the first one considered for the next promotion opportunity.
Okay, no, getting a promotion, that's tangible. Everybody knows what that is. Now, the only thing is, like if I got promoted to the, head fry cook, that's maybe not that great. So, I just, if you're the second fry cook, it might be good, but yeah. So again, tell me something. Is there, because when I first started talking to you, we just went right from helping people to crack the $200,000 glass ceiling.
That's what the ebook is on.
Okay, so are you afraid to go down that road? What's stopping you?
Here's what threw me a little bit, Brett. We created the ebook and we put it out there on the Facebook ads. And I didn't try a lot of different things, but I got very little response.
Okay.
And I probably have some of my own stuff that's getting in the way in terms of being a trusted advisor.
Sure. Okay.
Because the majority of my audience are white males.
All right.
And so I tend to believe that trust is not there.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting.
Now, whether that's true or not, that's just my own stuff, right? So
I get it.
I got to get through that. So I recognize that piece. But that's what's held me back to say, okay, well, maybe I'll go where I know I can be trusted, right?
That's
working
it.
with at-risk kids.
Yeah.
Working with,
Yeah.
so that, and then it started to float my heart a little bit because I felt connected.
Sure.
And so then the executive thing kind of took a backseat. Even though I sat in the C-suite for many years and I know business, I just didn't feel like that was drawing me.
But you cracked that ceiling in the C-suite, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, to me, you've already been down that road, and you knew how. You've not only figured out how to play the game, you figured out how to win the game, and that's what a lot of those guys want. And to me, all you're just teaching them to do is how to do what you did, which you already proven yourself in that realm. So I still think if you, just because you didn't have a lot of success with that one Facebook ad and that one ebook doesn't mean that it didn't work or it can't work. It's just, that was just our first try. So in all of our marketing, especially with ads, we do 10 ads before we get one that works. And there's a lot of different things that you need to try and do to get what works. So, and let me just ask you one other question though. Are you fearful at all that that you can't get those results taking somebody from one?
No, I'm very clear that that's not a problem.
Wow.
Right?
What are you waiting for?
I think I can add to this because I'm sensing that I was in the same place that you're at right now with the Massage Business Academy. So I saw a problem and I created based on the problems that people were coming to me with, that I was helping them with, I created this training. And then in the process of doing this, all of a sudden I was not getting that traction that I wanted. And I somehow got disconnected from it and lost my why do they, I stopped caring kind of. And I kind of wanted to walk away. This isn't bringing me any joy, and I don't want to fix a problem. And it was just weird until I was able to reconnect with, what they were actually struggling with, and like so it just sounds like you have this amazing connection to the kids, but like there's the connection is missing for these gentlemen that could really stand to use your help.
And let me also ask you, did you have lots of clients who, when they hired you, from the time that you guys worked together, their income went up?
Yes, not lots, but I did have
Some.
success, yes.
Even, I mean, if you have one, you were able to do it.
Absolutely.
Could you take those examples and turn them into like testimonial stories? And could you even go back to those folks and get testimonials from them?
Likely, yes.
That's a really easy transition to take those exact stories and you can say, you know, look at these 3 guys that they worked with me and we took their income from, I'm just going to make it up, 150 to 200, and they broke the glass ceiling. And that's, you know, really easy for executives to justify paying you. Really easy. It's just dollar for dollar. I mean, it's, you know, it's not only, and they get a bunch of other added benefits beside the dollar for dollar. If you can show them, hey, you pay me $12,000 to coach with me for a year, and you're gonna, you know, we've had other people we go take from 150 to 200. There's an ROI right there, but there's a bunch of intangible ROIs that they really want. Like we talked about those irrational motivators. There's the prestige. There's the, you know, all of their friends, what they're gonna look at them. Hey, I get to show my wife that, like, look what I can do. You know, the prestige in my neighborhood. I mean, there's all these things that you know, you can't put a price on that they'll hire you for. And then you can teach them how to have a great relationship with their son. Really.
Have it all.
You can have it all. Absolutely.
I have a question about why 150? Why not 120? It doesn't feel like a big enough gap to me. Or almost you want them to pay you a lot. Like you want to pay them. You want them to pay you 20,000.
Yeah, it's harder to get an executive making 120 doesn't have a lot left over at the end of the day, especially if they have a family in Southern
Then
California.
Why not 150 to 250?
Well, we talked about 200 was the number. So it was like, and you get people who are under 200, and he gets them over 200. And that's just where we started. It's just a starting point. And the cool part about that is if you're the $200,000 coach, you know, and that's what you do, somebody who is making 120, who does have the extra cash, you know, if they have a choice of hiring a coach who's, I'm just an executive coach versus I'm the $200,000 coach. It's real easy. Oh, I'm going to hire the guy that's going to get me to 200. Maybe maybe we'll go from 120 to 140, but hey, great. You know, so that's the marketing that will get them to hire you. Then once you get inside, you give them the good stuff that they need. Okay? You're welcome. Any others who learned something big from this exercise? Kat.
Health improved by increased energy, no longer fatigued. Get rid of acne.
So are these your clients or your clients' clients?
Past clients. Oh, my clients. Dang it.
Which is fine, because your clients' clients are going to
Now I
need
can
this.
understand them.
Good. Your clients' clients are going to need this, okay? Similar to Asara, similar to Yvonne. As a business coach, really one of the biggest things that we do is we teach marketing. We help our clients get more clients, okay? And so part of that is you're going to need, you can teach your clients, you do customer avatar interviews, teach your clients how to market, how to do a, abstract versus tangible.
Once I get
Yeah,
handle on it.
exactly. So, anybody else?
Who was this guy?
Lori.
Lori, okay, she's right there. So Lori and I were working on, I said that like a common thing is the inconsistent income. So like ebb and flow, a lot now, none later, whatever. So we were trying to play with tangible results, and I said like 3 things, and she says, "Oh, you create consistent cash flow." And I said that seems like it's still abstract. That I still need to say that what I'm actually doing is helping you find your unique brand of body work, and then we're learning how to price that and package it and promote it. So
Yeah.
do I not go
Can,
into
so like make more money is a little bit abstract. Consistent cash flow is better, okay? And it doesn't mean that you can't use those words because those are good. It'll probably motivate a lot of people to want to talk with you. It doesn't say how much, you know. So, but that's okay. You know, you don't. All these exercises are going to help you. They're going to help you get closer to what you're trying to be. Yes.
What you had said previously, I'm sorry, a little add-on to that. So create consistent cash flow so you can make a living doing what you love.
Make a good living,
Okay.
doing what you love.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And so that's if you're not going to say a specific number.
Right.
So if you're not, or you know, if you're not going to say 6 figures, or if you're not going to say $10,000 in the next 90 days,
I'm not afraid to say double or triple your hourly income.
then that's good.
Okay.
Good. You know, in 90 days, double or triple your hourly income. That's very specific. That's good.
Okay.
You know, it's definitely, now if their hourly income is 0, you know,
I guarantee.
that's good.
I don't
So-
have a problem saying that.
What I want you to get out of this is that you can see that there's a lot of options. There's a lot of ways to describe the different things that you can do. So again, you know, you could, you could say, make your first $5,000. And it'd be great if you could say 90 days.
That's fantastic for the different target markets.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
my live event coming up, one of my results that we're saying from my live event, Attract Customers Now Live, is make your next $10,000 online. That's one of the promises that we're going to have. Make your next $10,000. You're going to discover how to make your next $10,000 online. So I didn't say your first. I said your next. Okay, so it's just an example of, $10,000, and this thing only costs $197. Good ROI. All right, I can, yeah. Now it's easy as a business coach to do ROI because it's just dollar for dollar. It's really simple. So it's not quite as easy, you know, for the more intangible things. So I'm just acknowledging that. But there's lots of other ways we can do it. Okay, so I am going to bring up Sean Massey, who is going to lead us in what are we doing?
Oh, I just got a couple though.
You can tell us later. So go ahead and come up. Do you need a chair?
We're gonna let ourselves.
I'm gonna then use your chair. I'm gonna sit over here. So Sean, please reintroduce yourself to everybody and tell us what it is that we're doing. By the way, and so Sean's in our 20K club. So remember we were just talking about tangibles. A 20K club. So 20K stands for $20,000, and it's $20,000 a month. Okay, so that's the goal for the program. She's been in like 45 days. Well, it's a year-long program. Okay, it's a.
My testimony was that 45 days of being in the program, I had brought in
$22,500 in her first 45 days of the program. So it was enough to pay for the program. So it's pretty awesome. So Sean's amazing.
That's assuming everybody keeps their commitment over the year. One of them is just.
We'll get there. Don't you worry about it. We've been in for 45 days. All right, give me a year, okay? So.
Give him a year, he'll take off.
I
Yes.
had a lot of yeses up front, then I started.
But my point was the name of the program has part of the promise built into it is to get your business to $20,000 a month. Okay, so Sean's in the 20K club. So Sean, just please reintroduce yourself and then tell us the exercise that you're going to lead us in.
I'm Sean, and
Tell everybody what you do.
I'll turn it into children.
I'm Sean. And I'm a life coach who helps people move from believing thoughts that are completely self-sabotaging their existence to a place where they walk back into their exact same situation and see it with new eyes and unconditional love and prosperity.
Awesome. Okay, so
So
you have an
just-
exercise for us.
Yeah, let's everybody take a moment and close your eyes imagine the dappled sunlight.
Could you speak just a little louder?
Right. Is Lori coming back?
At some point.
So let's just close your eyes, place your feet on the floor, and feel your back in the chair, your seat in the chair. Imagine the dappled sunlight outside on the trees. Feel it in your body. Notice how you're being supported by everything. The air, noises in the background. Let yourself be breathed. Nothing to do. You're not the breather. You're not the decider how much air comes in and out when. Let yourself be breathed. Notice anything that doesn't feel like support. Is there a feeling in the pit of your stomach? Is there a sound or a thought? What would you place outside the sphere of lovableness? Feels wrong. Notice the thought. As if you're being thought. The thought that comes along and says, oh, this could be better than it is. If only this were that way, I'd be okay right now. Let's take a little while to be quiet and just let yourself be thought. Just what it is, keep second page, you mean at the upsell?
Yeah, like a lead. Well, there's no upsell there other than you're going to invite them to schedule a one-on-one with you. But so if you imagine a very simple, you've got your, lead page that has download here, and it's got, click the big button, and that takes them to, so it's download your monkey mind meditation, whatever, for whatever benefit. And then on this page, it's got a little video, and it invites them to, the video teaches them that meditation that you just did, and then when they're done, they click here to, schedule with your calendar.
To do what? Learn how
To sell them something.
I mean, what do I
Get-
tell them they're scheduling to get?
Well, we haven't done that yet. But can you do something like that? All right.
Your monkey mind got you going bananas.
And it's funny, like all my clients talk about Monkey Mind as if it is like just a comic. That's all.
That's beautiful.
And I invite feedback later if anyone wants to tell me what worked and didn't work for you about that.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Here's something that would help me from abstract to tangible. So coming up with the benefits for being in this room in person as opposed to being on the GoToWebinar. So, it'd be great if we all lived near enough to one another that we could meet, much more often in person, but that's just not feasible or possible with this kind of program. So what I'd like to do, in just in 2 minutes, if you could just tell me what you see are the benefits, and it's okay if they're abstract, but I want to try and get them to tangible, okay? Tell me, what do you see as the tangible benefits in this program of being physically present above the GoToWebinar meetings that we have? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to source tangible benefits that we can use when we're creating our marketing for our 2016 Attract Customers Now live event. So what are some tangible benefits of being physically present as opposed to just online?
Because they're online with you now.
Well, you're online with me now in our,
I know, but these other people are too, so they'll have the same experience we do.
they're not all, they've probably done some of my other online programs. Actually, probably all of them have done some other online programs, and now they're attending the live event. Yvonne, were you going to say something, or?
I don't know what the statistic is, but X% of communication is
Nonverbal.
nonverbal.
Mhm.
So the fact that we're all in the room together and we're not just getting your contribution to us from
Okay.
a talking head,
Mhm.
a beautiful talking head.
Oh, thank
so
you.
Connected.
Appreciate
But
that.
we're getting each and every person's nonverbal / all of their energy.
Okay, energy, good.
So,
And what's the tangible benefit to that? And-
I feel as though people I can contribute more to another person sitting here
Okay.
because I'm getting who they are, not just what they say that they're bringing to the game with what they're trying to create in their program, but like who they really are, like how they actually show up, that they might not even be aware that they're showing up that way. That's
So-
a little abstract.
Could say something like, if you believe you get out of something what you put into it, by attending live, you're going to put more into it, and you're going to get more out of it. Yeah? No? Okay. Who else?
I think it's like a think tank atmosphere.
Think tank atmosphere, and what's the benefit to
And
that?
the benefit is that I can now get direct feedback when I try out new wordings, new copy that I write, new sales copy. I can see directly, and the beauty of it is that your attendees actually we're all somewhat, we do different things, but we're also somewhat in the same way, similar wavelength. Yeah, we're semi-proxy avatars, like I say. Yeah, it's kind of direct feedback.
Because of what she just said, I think I can better describe,
Okay.
get a deeper understanding and a deeper insight into
And we help each other. I
other's
mean,
projects.
what's happening here already? is
Synergy.
like
You get synergy.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Love you all guys.
This is more of the cause than the effect.
Deeper
but,
understanding.
I feel like we
Yeah.
have time to sit together and like, oh, that's what we've got an hour on the phone.
It's a very immersive.
So what's that in terms of benefit?
Is that what you mean?
I
Use
don't
of the
know.
time?
That's one of the perks of this, but in
Yeah.
terms of results, all of it, that everybody
Okay, good. I like this one a lot. Direct, instant feedback on your marketing content from your peers. So Jenna, let's put that one down for sure. Deeper understanding of your, what was deeper understanding of what?
Of each other's projects, like what we're creating.
Of each
Yeah,
other's
deeper
projects.
insight into what they're trying to accomplish.
Okay,
Feel heard, understood.
feel heard and understood, okay. Yeah.
No, but you're saying something different that I think is
Thank you.
really valuable.
Please articulate it for me.
Well, I don't know if I can, but what you're saying is you're getting, like, you said something about like how we present ourselves that we may not even be aware of. And since you get more of a full sense of who we are, then the feedback that you can give us is more valid and
Integrated.
valuable, right,
Integrated.
whatever.
Integrated feedback.
It's
Well, but
integrated
he-
valuable feedback.
But integrated isn't a tangible. But anyway, but, so there's something about that. Yeah. That's what I think you were saying.
Okay, so what, we'll do this differently. So over this weekend, what I'd like you to do is write down specific results that you got, specific results. So for example, I created my irresistible elevator pitch. That's a very specific, tangible result.
But
Irresistible elevator pitch. That's an example.
I know, but you're saying specific to being physically present versus on a webinar.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, and yes, correct. And so, but we were coming up with still a lot of intangibles. All right, so I'm, going to the example of telling a story of an actual customer, that gets you right to a tangible. This is another way to get right to a tangible, and then we can figure out what's the difference. So that was helpful to me. That was just a quick little exercise. You can see how easy it is to go down the rabbit hole of the abstract, right? So just remember, the way to get out of it is just talk about a specific story of you or a client. That gets you out of it every single time. It never doesn't work. Okay? So
Also on your webinars, it's you teaching us. We're not getting feedback to and from each other.
yeah, that's a good point. So getting feedback from multiple peers. Okay, that's a good one. Actually, let's write that one down. Feedback from multiple peers.
And when you are a business owner, it's a very solitary experience for many. And when you get together with like-minded people, that it brings you up.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a lot of mentors say, surround yourself with better peers, with people who are on the similar track.
Absolutely.
Want to achieve business goals and all that. And
Definitely.
when you're in your own business, in your own little office, you don't have it, but when you get together with people who are
Yeah.
really like-minded, who want to bring things forward, it's an incredible dynamic, and you can't do this over the phone. It's
How
just
about reinforcement and validation?
inspiration too, to
Mhm.
inspire each other.
Yep.
It's very inspiring.
I like all those things.
And it's having the ability to go to a convention like
Mhm.
what you're offering, that kind of like makes you feel already successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it makes you feel successful. Wow.
Surround yourself
Real
with
business,
success.
you know? That's
So Jana, let's put that down. Surround yourself with successful entrepreneurs.
A lot of people use the term like mastermind team, but
Mhm.
that's what happens. Like,
That's more of a verb. Yeah, it's more of a verb. Masterminding. Is that what you just said?
Well, a mastermind team, like, what's another way we could say? But I imagine by the end of tomorrow, we're all now a team and connected in a way we never were before.
Definitely.
So
That's a good point. And
it's
what's
a-
the benefit of that? The tangible benefit of that?
It goes along with what you're saying. It
Yeah.
along with what you're saying as far as now having more resources
Mhm.
and perspectives to draw upon.
That's a good one. Let's put that down. More resources, Jana. Yeah, go ahead.
I think the connection creates commitment to each other's succce.
Yeah, and that's accountability.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Get accountability is a good one.
So Brad,
She likes the way I said it.
It's okay.
What is the one thing you want to get away from, take away from this weekend?
Me?
Would you like your sales copy to be finished by the end of
That's good. Yes. I want to crowdsource my sales copy. That's, you know what? Write that down. Crowdsource your sales copy. That's hot.
That is what we're doing.
That is hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
So
Love
you
it.
can share the commissions with all of us.
Absolutely. I'm going to give I'm going to give you that opportunity, Asara. All right. So let's move on now. Thank you, everybody. That was very helpful for me. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing with your community. I crowdsource stuff like crazy. So if you've ever seen me in any of the Facebook groups, say, hey, do you like, here's 4 logos that I just had done, which you get done on 99 designs for like $75. You throw it out there and let everybody vote on it and pick the right, pick one which works great. People love that stuff. It helps you get your message right, and there's just try it. Crowdsource stuff. It's really fun, and you can get a tremendous amount of benefit about it. So anytime you're trying a new slogan, put it out on your Facebook page, or if you have your own Facebook group, put it up there and get feedback. Say, hey, what do you guys think about this? I'm about to do this. I'm considering on this for my Lex campaign, or even my next email. Go post several different titles of emails and say, hey, which one would you open? Great way to crowdsource good ideas. Sean, you had your hand raised for just a minute.
Before you moved on, I was going to go back to one of my examples that
Go ahead.
I talked about at lunch.
Go ahead.
Trying to get more tangible.
Go ahead.
So the before is brand new client, the meeting she's been going to once a month for 20 years, where she hates it, feels disconnected, separate, doesn't think anybody wants her input, even though she's passionate about giving it. It's horrible, she dreads it. We have our session, she goes back the next day and the meeting is a whole different place.
So
That
this is a
happens all the time.
work meeting for her.
Completely nothing changed about the situation, but after a session, they see it so differently that they actually feel like everybody else changed.
Mm-hmm.
People are friendly now, people are listening to them, they're inviting them in, and I'm just kind of struggling with how.
Let me ask. So this was a bit.
Transform the way you see your world, but it's almost more like
This
it
was-
seems like other people have changed.
Yeah. So this was a business meeting.
That's one, yeah.
One. Let's go. What's this person's name?
Deborah.
Okay. So Deborah. What does Deborah do?
She's a professor.
Okay. And so this is a business meeting with other professors.
It's a study group, yeah.
Study group with other professors. And what was her idea now taken seriously? Like, what was the tangible outcome? You tell me.
So excited to share her ideas, and it appears to her. She walks in the room, everybody feels cliquish, she feels separate. They don't want her there. She shares her ideas, and they seem to get batted down, where she wants this lively discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when she goes back, everybody seemed to welcome her, listen to what she had to say.
Valued her input.
My retreat was the next week, and she wanted to come late because she didn't want to miss that meeting. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like so excited about going again after dreading it.
Great tangible example. And the more specifics you can add will generally help people understand the benefit of what you're talking about.
So it's not a soundbite, though. I mean, all we could come and just transform the way
You
we see the
can
world.
you
but
can
that's
you can make these I can tell a story in 10 seconds. Like you can get there.
not-
Okay.
So the business meeting you've dreaded for years now because the most
Well, but
exciting
you can
part
just
is
say,
your
what was her first name again?
Deborah.
You can, and if you need to change her name for confidentiality, just say, my client Jennifer, what was her big fear before? What was the big problem?
Oh, mostly she just felt like everybody hated her.
That's a big one, and so that's an example. My client Jennifer thought everybody hated her and was ostracized at work. We did our session. She went back to work the next day, and all of a sudden she felt like everybody welcomed her, everybody participated in her ideas, and she was, basically the star of the show. 10 seconds. Couldn't wait to get back again, and now her life is transformed. Okay, so totally tangible example of something that's very difficult to describe in abstract.
And then you can do the short version, or if you've got more time, you can do
Absolutely.
longer version.
Absolutely, because the latter is something that people are willing to pay for, because they can relate to that. Okay, and when you tell that story, it activates the croc brain. Okay, the croc brain goes, oh, I recognize that. I can imagine that. So up here, this is where language lives, but when you're telling that story, this is not the part of the brain that's being activated. It's in here. It's the emotional connection to Deborah and what it feels like to be her. And if anybody can relate, anybody you're telling this story to will probably be able to relate to it. And that's how they're totally tuned in. You have their full attention, and they understand the value of that.
If I were to say another really shortcut one, that a client or a first-time retreat participant who could not drive without panic attacks and having to stop constantly, drove home from the retreat, hasn't had anxiety while driving since.
A great specific story. And that would be a great story to tell if you're talking to another prospective client who has a similar issue, has a similar anxiety, a severe crippling kind of anxiety. Okay?